And welcome to another edition of Ducks No Sports. This week, we're talking about Week 6 in the NFL. Already Week 6. A lot of surprise things this year. Is like a lot of teams that we thought were Super Bowl contenders, like the Atlanta Falcons, Minnesota Vikings. Not so much. And on the other side, teams we thought were going to be nothing this year, like the Kansas City Chiefs, are actually pretty good teams and could be Super Bowl contenders. So it's always interesting in the NFL. Always interesting teams. There's always a few teams you never see being good. There's always a few teams you think are going to be great, but at the end of the day are not so good. But we'll start with this week's games, and we'll start with the Thursday night game as the Chicago Bears take on the New York Giants. Should be an interesting one to say the least. I'll start with Chicago. What a start for Chicago. I did not think big hopes for Chicago Bears come this season. I thought they would struggle with a new coach in Mark Trestman, but Mark Trestman has turned this team around 100%. He's turned Jay Cutler into the old Jay Cutler, the good Jay Cutler so far this year. And you got Chicago Bears, running a CFL type offense. Mark Trestman coming from the Montreal Reds, bringing a CFL offense in to the NFL. Didn't think it would work, but it is working so far. And Chicago Bears, but this is really what the Chicago Bears are. Last few seasons, the first half of the season, they look unstoppable, look like they'd be a Super Bowl type team. And then the second half season happens, and they usually crap out. So we'll see. So far, it's going well for Chicago Bears. Jay Cutler's turned his game to a whole new level. Forte's running the ball well, and this defense is still well. Chicago. Depending on one thing in Chicago, is having a great defense. That's definitely what they have in Chicago right now. Their defense playing fantastic, I think, playing really good right now. And on the other side of this game, you got the New York Giants. So let's face facts. They're not the old New York Giants as getting off to an 0-5 start. Nobody really saw this coming. At least I didn't see this coming. Eli Manning has not played well. Defense has not played well. Looks like they're really missing OC and a team that just can't get a running game going. Let's be honest. Can't really get a running game going. And it's just New York Giants. It just looks like to be a lost year in New York. A couple years will win the Super Bowl, but you take those 2 years that they won the Super Bowl away. This is not a very good team. These are the New York Giants. I mean, year after year, they seem to disappoint. Year after year, people going in the year think they are a Super Bowl type team. Disappoint year after year. Eli Manning, good QB. Great QB, hard time saying. But New York Giants, for whatever reason, this year just can't get anything going. Eli Manning's bad. Coughlin's making dumb mistakes in his coaching. Can't get a running game going, and defense is just one of the worst defenses in the league. That's why I love the Chicago Bears this week. I think Jay Cutler will play well, will control the ball, will not turn the ball over, and I think the Chicago Bears beat the New York Football Giants. All right, moving to Sunday night game as the Dallas Cowboys take on the Washington Redskins. Always an interesting game when these two teams lock horns. And, Dallas last week. Denver and Dallas last week. What a game. Maybe one of the best football games I've ever seen. Of course, I'm talking about Denver beating Dallas 51-48. One of the highest scoring games, NFL, CFL, that you will ever see. What a game. Tony Romo threw over 500 yards, but still gets the loss. And this week will be interesting because Tony Romo and Dallas Cowboys as a whole. You know what? Dallas Cowboys are a very good team. Are they a Super Bowl contender? Iffy. I'll say iffy. But could they win the East? Very likely they can win the East. I really believe in these Dallas Cowboys. They are really playing well. I mean, they're running the ball with Murray. Murray's having a silent year, but he's having a good year. Tony Romo's having a good year. Hasn't turned the ball over much yet this year. Receiving core is having a good year. Dez Bryant needs to get going a little bit. I think this will take this team to the next level. Dallas Cowboys to the next level will be Dez Bryant becoming an elite receiver in the NFL, which he hasn't really been this year. In past years, yes, but not this year. And defense playing really, really well. Marcus Ware, getting up there in age, but still showing that age is no factor for this guy as he is playing well. And the Dallas Cowboys as a whole are just a solid football team and a team that easily could win the NFC East. And on the other side of this ball, you got the Washington Redskins. I don't know what the hell happened here, because going into the year, I believed in Washington. Mike Shannon saying they are a Super Bowl type team, and I believed them. I really believed RG3 was But RG3 has fallen off. I don't know if he's still injured or what, but he has not played well this year. He's got no chemistry with his receivers. The defense can't stop anyone. They can't get a run game going. The Washington Redskins are a mess. They're back to being the old Redskins. Maybe we thought last year they turned the corner and finally being that elite, going back to being an elite franchise with Mike Shanahan there and RG3, but they have fallen back into the old Redskins, and they have to start winning games. That's just what it comes down to. The Washington Redskins, no more time screwing around. They need to start winning games that they expect to. They even expect to make the playoffs. I don't see it this year. It's just RG3 is off this year. And, and in this game, I love the Dallas Cowboys. I think the Dallas Cowboys roll. I believe the Dallas Cowboys win this game by 2 touchdowns. Moving over to the Monday Nighter. The Indy Colts taking on the San Diego Chargers. We'll start with the Chargers here. A very roller coaster type year for the San Diego Chargers. You know, start of the year they look kind of bad, but then they come back and look really good. Then they go back to being crappy again. You can't really get a read on this team. I mean, 1 week, like I said, they look great. But then they go to Oakland last week and say, okay, guaranteed win here, and they get their butts kicked. Can't get a read. Philip Rivers is having an MVP type year, but that's not going to be enough for this team. I mean, the running game has to get going. Matthews has to start running the ball, but their defense, not that good. Let's face it. In the past, they've had usually a strong defense, but this year, not so much. The San Diego Chargers, just a roller coaster type team. And on the other side of this game, you got a Colts team who nobody's talking about, but these Colts are pretty damn good. I mean, Andrew Luck is clearly the best QB to come out of that draft class. No offense to all you RG3 fans, but Andrew Luck is slowly turning to elite QB in the NFL. And a defense who gets the job done, and a receiving core, an underrated, maybe a small receiving core, underrated receiving core, but a receiving core that gets the job done. The Colts are a very good team. Nobody's really talking about the Colts, but the Colts are a dark horse Super Bowl team. I really believe when the Colts play the Broncos in a few weeks, they really got a good chance to end the Broncos' undefeated season. All this Colts team does is win. Andrew Luck always seems to pull it away. Great coaching staff. I love the Colts this year, and I love the Colts this week. Give me a stable Colts team over a roller coaster team. I'll take the stable team. And the Colts beat the Chargers. It's going to be close. I think a field goal type game, but the Colts get it done on Monday Night Football. All right, rest of the games this week. Green Bay and Baltimore. Love the Green Bay Packers. Cincinnati over Buffalo. Buffalo's got no QB. I mean, no QB right now, so I'll take the Cincinnati Bengals. Cleveland, Detroit. This might sound crazy, but the Cleveland Browns are going to win 4 straight games. I'll repeat that. The Cleveland Browns are going to win 4 straight games. Who would have thunk it? Not me, as they beat the Lions. Houston versus St. Louis. I will take the struggling Houston Texans to beat the bad St. Louis Rams. Kansas City versus Oakland. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to go to 6-0. Andy Reid doing one hell of a job there. Minnesota versus Carolina. I like the Minnesota Vikings to win this one over the Carolina Panthers. Pittsburgh versus New York Jets. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers finally get their first win this season as they beat the New York Jets. Philly, Tampa. Again, another roller coaster type team, but Tampa Bay is just awful. So I will take the Philadelphia Eagles, please. Denver versus Jacksonville. This might sound crazy, but I believe that... No, I don't. The Denver Broncos roll in this one. Seattle versus Tennessee. I will take the Seattle Seahawks to bounce back and win this week. New Orleans and New England. I will take the New Orleans Saints because they look like to be unstoppable right now. Probably the best team in the NFC. The Saints. Probably the best team in the NFC. And San Fran versus Arizona. I like San Fran to roll in this one as Arizona. Let's face it, Arizona sucks. Let's just be honest. Arizona's not that good. Last week, 9-6. Not great. Not awful, but again, not great. Bringing my record to 48-31. Not bad. Getting some wins. And I'm very confident this week. I really feel I can go undefeated this week. I mean, I really like these picks this week. And until next time, I'm Aaron Duxbury saying, I'm Dux, and I know sports. Kind of.